So a big part of this module is factorising, and we're going to look at a lot of different ways to factorise expressions. Some of them are going to be some special types, and students get very caught up in looking at the more complicated expressions and trying to figure out what special type it is, and they often miss this step. The very important first step, looking for a common factor. So if you are given an expression 5a plus 15, and that should be a 15, then you say, well, what's a common factor? Well, common to both 5a and to 15 is the number 5. So we take the 5 out. 5a divided by 5 leaves me with a. 15 divided by 5 leaves me with 3. Sometimes though, you're not looking for a number, you're going to be looking for a pronumeral. So in x squared minus 3x, our common factor is x. So x squared divided by x leaves me with x. Minus, because it's a minus in the expression, 3x divided by x leaves me with 3. The common factors can get more complicated than that, and we're always looking for the highest common factor. So in y to the power of 5 plus 6y squared, simply taking y out will still leave us with common factors. You want to take the highest common factor, y squared in this case. So y to the 5 divided by y squared leaves us with y cubed plus 6. Our common factors can be even more complicated than that though. If you have a look at this expression, 4 outside of a plus 2 minus 3b outside of a plus 2, our common factor here is a plus 2. So when I take a plus 2 out, I'm left with 4 minus 3b. Now, at any stage, if you're unsure if you've factorised correctly, go back and multiply it out. If you multiply this one out, a plus 2 times 4 gives me the first term, and then a plus 2 times minus 3b gives me the second term. Okay, the last question, more than one common factor. So first look at the numbers. There's a common factor of 2. Then look at the a's. There's a common factor of a squared. Then look at b's. There's a common factor of b. So then go back to the first term in your expression. I've taken out a 2, which leaves me with 2. I've taken out a squared, so we've got no a's left. And I've taken out a b, so that leaves me with b squared. Minus, then go back to your second term. Taken out 2, it leaves me with 3. I've taken out a squared, that leaves me with a, and I've taken out b. So that factorises to 2a squared b outside of 2b squared minus 3a. Pause the recording here and write all that stuff down, and then you've got to make a choice. You can go on and start exercise 2.7 from there if you think that's enough to get your head around. If, however, this is all just revision of what you already know and you're quite comfortable, continue on to the next part of the video and we'll do grouping in pairs. So the examples that we just looked at generally only had 2 terms. If you have an expression with 4 terms, you can look at whether or not factorising in pairs will help you. So our first question says 3x plus 15 plus ax plus 5a. So what we're going to do is we're going to group in pairs. So if 3x plus 15 is our first pair, then what you have there is a common factor of 3 outside of x plus 5. And then in our second group, we have a common factor of a outside of x plus 5. And this is what we're looking for. Now what we have in these 2 terms is a common factor of x plus 5. So we'll pull that out. And when I take out the common factor of x plus 5, I'm left with 3 plus a. So our second question, we're going to go the same way. So we've got a, b minus 2a, and 10 minus 5b. So in our first pair, ab minus 2a, our common factor is a, and that leaves me with b minus 2. And then in our second one, our common factor is 5, and that leaves me with 2 minus b. So we've run into a little bit of a hurdle here because our common factors are not the same. However, one of them is just the negative of the other. b minus 2 is negative of 2 minus b. So what I'm going to do is multiply it by negative 1. So we're going to keep the first term, a outside of b minus 2, exactly as it is. But in this case, what I want is to have the brackets here be b minus 2. How do I do that? I multiply by negative. So I get minus 5 outside of b minus 2. Now I've got my common factor b minus 2. It's a minus 5. That's what you need to be able to do exercise 2.7 and 2.8. Good luck. I'll see you in class.